there, I'm Casey Jean, and this is going to be a gentle chair yoga practice, primarily done seated in your chair. After we warm up, we'll spend a little bit of time standing and using the chair as support. Pretty much any chair that you have in your house or space will do, preferably one without arms, just simply so you have a little bit of space to move. And then other than that, just space to be able to move around, to move your arms and stand without things being in your way. So take a moment to set up your space. You might mute your phone so there's minimal distractions. Once you're seated, take a moment to adjust yourself. Often when we sit in chairs, we want to lean back and get really comfortable. But here in this yoga practice, we'll sit up without leaning back on the chair. We'll use our spine and our core muscles to hold ourselves up gently. A little trick you might do is placing your hand on the top of your head, pressing in it just a little bit and seeing if you get a little length through the center of your body. And then maintaining that and letting your hand go. Begin today by rocking forward onto your toes, coming back down, lifting your toes up. So now you're on your heels. Just rock your feet forward and back a few times like that. As you do, notice the sensations that come up. Take just a few more and settle your feet down. Maybe you find you need to take your legs a little bit wider or a little closer together. You have permission to sit however works best for you, and that might change throughout this practice. Find a small press down through your feet. When you do that, you might feel your whole low body engage, a little bit of strengthening in your legs. Not so much that there's shakiness or clenching, just a little bit to feel the connection of your feet to the ground underneath you as stable and sturdy. You can close your eyes or you might just look down, taking a few moments to start to notice however it is that you're feeling as you begin this practice. The first pass through is typically the physical layer, noticing how you feel in your physical body. Not searching for anything in particular or pushing things away, just noticing whatever's here. And also noticing the things that are a little more subtle, like your feelings, the thoughts you've had, anything you've been carrying with you today or for a few days. In this way, you might think of it as just taking inventory, just noticing what's there. And bring your awareness to your breath and see if you can get in touch with each breath as it happens. The inhale and the exhale, in and out. And noticing how it is in its natural state right now too. Maybe it's rapid or shallow, fluttery or smooth. Notice how your breath might inform how you are physically and or emotionally. Notice how they're all connected. The breath, the body, the mind. And so we use this practice to get in touch with how we feel, to release things that need to be released, and cultivate the things that we want to bring closer, like ease and relaxation, or strength and balance. As we begin, take a moment to notice your why. Why are you here right now practicing? What is it that you'd like to cultivate or maybe let go of? And as we go on through this practice, come back to that, especially if your mind drifts away. Keep your intention, your why, and your breath as your points of focus and sensation in your body as we move through. Begin to roll your shoulders, rolling them however you want, doesn't even matter the direction, just starting to find some movement in your upper body. We often hold a lot of stress and tension up here. Take just one or two more. Bring your arms down by your side and sway them forward a little bit. You can even shake your wrists gently as you do. In a way, we're just starting to wake up the body. Notice how it's feeling, how you're feeling. And let your arms slowly come back to stillness. Hands can rest in your lap or by your sides. Tuck your chin now in towards your chest. If it feels okay, you might even let your head go fully, just no effort. Some of you will want to just stay in that stillness, letting your head hang. And others, you might want to find the no-like movement, letting your head go left and right. You might even try both and see which ones you prefer right now. Just a few more moments. Slowly lift your head back up and just pause for a moment. Allow your body to settle after that neck release. Bring your arms by your side and start to just bring them out to a T-like shape and lower them down. You could do that with either palms facing down as you lift and lower, or with your palms stretching forward. You might even alternate. Take a few of these at your own pace. The next one you do, be the last. And once you have your arms up, stay there for a moment. Arms spread, fingers spread. 3 deep breaths. If they aren't already, turn your palms downward and slowly float your arms down by your side. Come back to that arm movement, forward and back. Option to shake the wrists softly too. Hands come back to your lap or maybe the sides of your chairs if you want a little bit of stability, support. Choose a leg to start and simply just straighten that leg, resting the foot on the heel. Hand can either be on the bent knee leg or sides of your chair. Begin to lean forward just a little and come back up through seated. Finding that flow of leaning forward and coming back up through seated. The leg that's bent, you might gently press down through the foot, offering support, holding you up. And through your straight leg, you might gently press through the heel, toes coming back towards your shin to encourage the sense of lengthening through the back of your leg. The next time that you're forward, stay there, straight leg. Breathing in, breathing out. 3 more breaths. Whenever you finish those 3 breaths, slowly come back up through seated. Wiggle your straight leg, shake it out a little left and right. Bring that leg back and pause for a moment. You might come back to those toe to heel rocks like we started in. Any other movement that feels like it needs to happen to release tension or anything at all, please feel free to do that. And if you're moving, slowly start to come back to stillness. Switching legs. So your opposite leg will now be straight, foot resting on the heel. Take a moment to get comfortable. You might even move your leg around left or right. Find where it feels stable and safe in your hip and your knee. Choose where you want to place your hands, your thigh, or the chair. And at your own pace, find that movement forward and back. And as you lean forward, know that we're not searching for the deepest edge or the most sensation that you can find. Rather, moving forward to a point where you start to feel that sense of lengthening in the back of your leg, or you might call it a stretch, and stay there. The next time that you're forward, stay. If you'd like, you can press forward through the heel of your straight leg. Soften if you can feel your body clenching anywhere. Taking 3 more breaths here. When you're finished with those 3 breaths, come back up to seated. Shake the straight leg, releasing tension. Your leg will come back. Take any movement or stillness that feels like it needs to happen. So maybe it's the toe rocks, forward and back. You might let both of your knees just drop kind of left and right. Anything that feels helpful, or maybe even just something that you feel intuitively that you want to try. Making your way back to stillness. A little bit more seated before we come up to standing. arms by your side. Lift either straight forward or out to the side, lifting your arms up, lowering them down. We'll do 3 more like that. You choose how you lift your arms, simply lifting them up almost about towards your ears and lowering them down. 2 more on your own. Slowly make your way up to standing, and you'll use your chair in front of you, the seat facing away. If you have 2 surfaces near you, like a yoga mat and a rug or hardwood, just make sure your chair is on the same surface, both sets of legs, so that you don't slip and slide. Come behind your chair and you can use your hands directly on the chair in front of you. Similarly to what we've been doing, start to rock forward and back, toes to heel. A little forward and back movement. Feel the weight in your feet, the connection. Slowly come back to stillness. Like we did seated, lift your arms, reaching up about ear height, and lower them down. 2 more like that on your own. Maybe even your arms don't go quite to ear height. Maybe it's actually more towards like T or shoulder height. After you've done those, replace your hands on the chair back in front of you. Step either leg behind you, finding a lunge. At first, it's a straight leg lunge. Figure out how you want to position your legs and your feet. Typically speaking, giving your feet the distance of about your hips and your back toes facing forward so that your back knee doesn't feel wonky. Begin to bend forward into your front knee, finding your lunge, and straighten. We'll find this lunge dynamically, meaning we'll move in and out of the shape. Find your own flow, and if you'd like, you might connect your breath with your movement. So that could be breathing in, bending your knee, and breathing out, straightening. Your hands are wherever you'd like to place them. Both hands could be on the chair in front of you. Perhaps you use just one hand. Some of you might like to not use the chair at all. Find 3 more of these cycles. The 3rd time your front knee bends, stay there. Option to have your hands on your chair, or lift one or both of them in front of you, arms out at about shoulder height. Take 3 deep breaths in and out, holding the shape. And if you need to rest, then rest. Straighten your leg. After the 3rd breath, straighten your front leg and pause. Let your arms come to the front of the chair if they aren't already there. Keeping both legs straight this time, lean forward. You're almost tilting forward with your torso. You can stay with hands on the chair in front of you. Some of you might like to come down to forearms. Again, just be sure that your chair is steady. If you're not getting much of a stretch in your front leg, you can step your other leg, your back leg, further back. Know that if you do that and you got a little more than you bargained for, simply step your foot closer to the front leg again. Notice if your breath has changed in any way, or if you're holding your breath, holding, clenching tension. And if so, try to soften. To soften your muscles, to deepen your breath. If you came down to forearms first, hands back to your chair, standing up. Take either a step or a few steps to get your back foot forward to meet the other. Begin to rock forward and back, or to toes and heels. We'll switch legs. Take your time setting yourself up. So one of your legs steps back. Find your lunge position, and that can mean not just the length of your legs apart, but the distance of your feet wide. When you feel sturdy, begin to find the in and out motion of straightening your leg and bending your knee. Finding your own rhythm. Know that even while we're in this shape, you can adjust, you can take a break. Hands on the chair for support. If you want to challenge yourself, you might let your hands be by your side or even stretched out in front of you. 3 more movements between these shapes. The third time your knee is bent, you'll stay there. Take any adjustments you might need. Three deep breaths. And again, you choose where your arms are. If you want more challenge, reach straight out in front of you, or hands on your chair. Release, straighten your front leg. Tilt forward, let your belly come forward. Hands either on the chair in front of you, or forearms go to the back of the chair. Just like the other side, if you're not getting much of a stretch through your front leg, you might take your legs a little further apart, stepping your back leg back. Notice if there's anywhere you're clenching or holding, and try to soften. And I say that because when our muscles tighten and clench, it's pretty impossible for them to lengthen, which is what we're doing. Stretching is lengthening a muscle. forearms are on the chair, hands come back. Take your time stepping back to your chair. Rock your feet forward and back. Finding a forward fold. Chair needs to be really steady so that you don't fall. And your hands will stay on the chair in front of you. Begin to step back until your back kind of gets flat, or what might come first is you feel a sense of length or stretch through the back side of your legs. Know that you can have bent knees as you're here, and some of you might even let your head go heavy, not holding it up. However you find this, take just 3 more breaths. After those 3 breaths, slowly start to step your feet back to your chair, walking forward. Turn to the side and start to take your feet wider. Let your arms go left and right. Slowly, you'll pick up the pace, letting your arms almost just drape left and right. You might bend your knees a little bit as you go to one side. Like we started slowly, we'll slowly come out of this, finding stillness again, but not abruptly. Once you're back into stillness, one hip is facing the side of a chair. Step your legs a little bit further apart. That might be 2 or 3 feet apart. The leg that's closer to your chair, turn the toes so they're facing towards that chair. We'll find a side lunge, if you will, or warrior 2, where we bend into the front knee and straighten. Here, the hips are facing the side, whereas in our front lunge, the hips are facing forward. Your hand can be on the chair just as you did before for support. Those of you who would like to challenge yourself more, you might extend that front arm out forward like a half T, or both arms out like a full T. If you need to adjust your legs by taking them further apart or bringing them closer together, pause for a moment, adjust, and come back to the movement in and out. 3 more movements. The third time, stay in the lunge with your knee bent, arms out. If you need to rest your arms, of course, please rest your arms. Take just 1 more breath. Straighten your front leg. And I almost imagine like you're surfing. Start to reach your front arm forward, almost passing the chair. Your front arm can come to the chair if you'd like some support. Your back arm could either rest by your side, stay out to strengthen that arm, or lift it straight up towards the sky for a little bit of opening through the underside of that arm. 3 breaths here. Breathing in fully, breathing out slowly. Breathing in fully, and breathing out slowly. first. Your arm that's on the chair. Press that arm, almost coming up like a push-up. Your other arm can come down if it's lifted. Bring both feet so they're facing essentially parallel. Begin to bring the legs closer together, maybe by heel toeing the feet, or however you need to come back. And we'll come back to that sway where the feet are a little bit wider than the hips and your arms just move left and right. You can even shake the wrists soft if you feel any tension in your upper body. Shake it out. Shake it off. Notice how you're feeling. If your heart rate's changed, if your breath has changed, just as a check-in with yourself. Slowly come back to stillness. And to switch, you can either turn around, so now that your other face is facing the front of the chair, or if you want to stay facing your screen, then just pick up your chair and change sides. So adjusting, taking your feet anywhere from 1 to 3 feet apart. The foot that's closer to your chair, those toes face towards the end, face towards the chair. Begin to find the in and out shape. And the first few times you might use that to assess how you're standing, if you're stable or if you need any adjustments at all. And find your flow, the in and out. Choosing however you want arms. If you're using the chair for support, if you'd like to lift one or both. Knowing that there's no right or wrong, rather, this is an opportunity to really check in with yourself and choose whatever decision supports you right now. The next time you bend your front knee, stay there. Again, you choose your arms. Take 3 deep breaths. Breathing in fully. Breathing out slowly. After the 3rd breath, straighten your front leg. Release your arms down. Front arm, the one that's closer to the chair, might go there. If it's there, lean forward, maybe on forearm, or you can start from having both arms up, reaching forward, really surfing your torso forward, choosing maybe to stay for a moment or two, and then release down to the chair. Three full complete breaths in this shape. Breathing in fully. Breathing out slowly. After the 3rd breath, use your hand on the front chair to come up. Turn your feet so they're parallel. Bring them closer together, about hip distance or a little wider. Find your sway movement left and right, or anything else you'd like to do to release tension, to find ease. Slowly come back to stillness. Finding one more forward fold before we slow down and settle in for meditation. The forward fold, like before, if you want that variation, hands by your chair, step back 1 foot at a time until you feel wherever enough is enough, where you can still breathe while holding this. Again, knees might be bent. Maybe let your head go to really facilitate that feeling of letting go of tension in your neck. However, wherever you are, 3 more breaths. Breathing in fully and breathing out slowly. Slowly make your way back to the chair by stepping forward. Settle in for your meditation however you want to be. Some of you might like to lay down fully on your mat. Some of you might want to sit in the chair or even on the floor. It's up to you. Take the next 10-15 seconds or so to choose however you want to be. Settle in and get comfortable. Choose if you feel more comfortable closing your eyes or keeping your eyes open. If you're lying down or if you're seated, get soft in your shoulders, creating a sense of ease, letting the body to rest or to be open to relaxation. You might notice other places you can soften. It might be the jaw, between your eyebrows, even your belly. And come back to your breathing and begin to breathe a 3-count inhale, a 4-count exhale. A 3-count inhale, a 4-count exhale. As you breathe this way, let your focus be not just on your breath, but how it feels in your body. The sensations within your body as you breathe 3 counts in, 4 counts out. You might stay with the 3 in and the 4 out, or you might deepen your breath to a 4 count in and a 5 count out. let go of that breath now, breathing naturally. For the next few moments, gently notice however it is you feel right now. In your body, in your mind, in your heart. If you closed your eyes, slowly blink them open. Any movement that you want or need to take is welcome. As you wrap up this practice, take a moment to sincerely extend gratitude for yourself. You might even put one or both hands on your heart. And know that showing up to a yoga practice, a mindfulness practice, is an act of love and care and compassion for you, for everyone in your life, and even for those who you don't directly know. Thank you for being here. I'm Casey Jean, and you can find this class every Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern at PRN's Facebook page. And if you'd like more options to practice and work with me, you can find my Facebook page at Casey Jean Yoga, and I'll be sharing that in the comments below. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourself and be well.